The following is an independently produced community access program. The viewpoints expressed are those of the community access producer and do not reflect those of Shaw Cable Systems. The program is presented in response to CRTC policy guidelines regulating community programming.
Hello, bonjour Alberta. Did you know that at least 238,000 people speak Français in Alberta? And those numbers just keep on growing? Oui, oui, c'est vrai, it's true. And thanks to Shaw TV Community Access Programming, we get to reach out to everyone to let you know all about special people, places, events, and activities happening right here in this great province, in both English and en français. That's right, mes amis. We begin the first part of our program in English, and then we repeat it en français. So stay with us. Restez à l'écoute.
Bienvenue and welcome to Hello, Bonjour Alberta. My name is Luigi Soundproof La Barrière, your host for this evening. Today we have two very special guests. First of all, they're going to talk to us about the Francophone Secretariat and also about Alberta Culture and Tourism Ministry. Welcome to Rhéal Poirier.
Thank you.
He was the acting executive director of Francophone Secretariat for Alberta, and Manuelle Prunier, committee liaison officer for Southern Alberta. Welcome to Hello, Bonjour Alberta.
Thank you.
Yes, I had the chance to do a little research on the Secretariat, and I find it a wonderful initiative, and I think it's been going on for a while. When did the Secretariat been established?
The Francophone Secretariat was established in 1999 to ensure a liaison between the French community of Alberta and the government of Alberta.
Mm-hmm. And even though there was an history of Francophone in Alberta for a while.
Yes. Yep.
For how long?
For 200 years.
200 years already?
At least, yeah.
Right. And you are from Alberta?
I'm originally from Prince Edward Island.
From Prince Edward Island, okay.
But I moved in Alberta in 2006.
In 2006. Yes. And you were part of another project before being with the Secretariat of Francophone.
Yes, I was involved with Francophonie Jeunesse de l'Alberta, so the French Youth Association of Alberta, and I was executive director there for 7 years. So that association is a province-wide organization that works with Francophone youth across the province, and they develop multiple cultural activities, leadership development, quite a bit of workshops, a youth parliament.
A youth parliament?
Youth parliament, yeah. So at the Alberta legislature, every May, every beginning of May, mock parliament with youth.
It's just giving them a sense of, of understanding of how government is run or how our parliament is run, exactly?
Yeah, from year to year they always elect a cabinet, a youth cabinet that work for the next year to develop the program for that event from year to year, and they debate laws and bills to implement. They never get implemented, yes. But because it is a mock parliament. But from year to year, they have that activity. Yeah.
Well, that's a very interesting project to do with, especially with young adults in a way, because yes. your target clientele was from 14 to 25.
Yes, and that parliament is for 16 to 25, so just a little bit older.
Okay,
yeah.
Wonderful. Now, Madame Prunier, you're originally from Switzerland.
From France,
from
but
France.
Very close to the Swiss border.
Okay,
yes.
So the Swiss border. And you have been in Calgary for how long now?
I arrived in 2008.
Yeah.
So about 6 years.
Okay.
Yes.
And before that, you traveled also, and you were in Africa.
That's right, yes. I worked in South Africa and then in Gabon in tourism development for the benefit of local communities.
And that must be a challenge I couldn't imagine, because you were sharing with me, and I couldn't imagine there was tourism in that part of Africa and even different land to discover.
True, it was a big adventure. It was very exciting. They had just set up 13 national parks in Gabon.
13?
And 13, yes. And the idea was that tourism was going to be one of the ways that money could be raised and that a community could develop their capacities and live from.
Oh, wonderful. So as I can see, a good combination of experience and background to work together right now at the Secretariat. How is that experience for you?
I started in June, so it's still very recent. I find it very exciting. I am based in Calgary. The rest of the team is in Edmonton, and every day is different. I've got to meet lots of very exciting and motivated people who are trying to offer services in French in different domains.
Yes.
And my role is really to offer liaison between the government and the community, informing the community of the priorities of the government and informing the government of the needs of the community.
Oh, exactly, I can understand. And I imagine also for you it's a new challenge, and also fairly new also for you, it's been a year.
Yes, since July last year.
July last year. And now you got a little bit comfortable into your role, and now you have a new Minister of Tourism and Culture, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yesterday, the Honorable Maureen Kubinik was named Minister of Culture and Tourism.
And what is the main focus or the main goals in your agenda of the Secretariat of Francophone?
Well, like Manuelle said, it's to ensure that liaison between the government and the Francophone community. So we work in a lot of different sectors to try to get to inform government of certain priorities within the community and certain needs that are in the community, and help the community also dialogue with government on their needs.
And now I do understand, like you were saying earlier, that there's a history of Francophone in Alberta for over 200 years. But is there that much of a clientele here to deserve the service to? How many Francophone in Calgary, Edmonton, or Alberta? Can you give us a couple?
Yeah. Well, French as a first language, we're looking at about 81,000 people, but as the wonderful sign here says, we're
corrected.
238,000, and it's one of the fastest growing Francophone communities in Canada. So that's very
Outside
important.
of Quebec.
Outside of Quebec, yeah. And another thing that's quite important is the fact that at least 1 out of 3 students in Alberta is in a French language program, whether it be French immersion or Francophone school.
Oh. And I could imagine also, Madame Prunier, that as you go in different community activities, you meet a lot of French-speaking people, mostly from Quebec or from abroad?
Calgary is a very mixed community. There are 78 countries people come from who speak French in Calgary.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So
it's quite incredible. And of course, there are people from Quebec and New Brunswick and Europe, and Africa, all over the place.
Right.
Yes.
And what is the main, their priority when it comes to you? What are their needs, or what is the first request or curiosity about how you can help them?
All right. Well, there are many. One of our main projects at the moment that we're working on or supporting is the idea of having services, health services offered in French. There is a huge need for that. Lots of young families who arrive here, and there are Francophone doctors, but often they cannot accept new clients, and we're trying to find a way that people will be able to look after their own health in French.
Yeah, that's something to develop, I imagine also. And is that reality abroad, all over Alberta?
We have various, the communities are very different across Alberta. There are needs that are similar to all the Francophone population. So yes, I'd say it is a broadened need for services in health, but they're in other priority areas as well.
And I know you support also different cultural project, musical project, or books that I've seen on your website. How do you go about those projects? How do people present it to you?
Yeah. Well, our main focus for our grant stream is for delivery of services in French. So we're focusing a lot more on the delivery of services. So developing, implementing, and just delivering those services in French.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Do you have anything that been going on recently? Any new project? Because, like you say, that the number has grown. Do we have any new project that's coming or that's been going on?
We're very busy with a lot of projects.
Okay.
Because we do have that cross-government type of liaison role. We work with a lot of different ministries for services in French. So we're busy all the time in trying to get a few things ahead and connecting people and ensuring that we're serving as that liaison role between the community and government.
That's wonderful. Now, where can we have some information on that? What is the website, phone number? Where can we go?
Well, we can always go on the Alberta.ca website and try to find the culture and tourism site, the section for our ministry. And we also have the website bonjour.alberta.ca.
Okay.
Where we can find quite a bit of information on all of the services provided in French in Alberta.
And then we can find also the address to your offices in Edmonton and also in Calgary also.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yes. And what is the address in Calgary for people that wanted to come and see you or call or communicate?
All right, it's AMEC Place on the 24th level, and it's 801 6th Avenue, 6th Avenue Southwest.
Southwest. Okay. And the one in Edmonton?
The one in Edmonton is on Jasper Avenue and 104th Street, so 10405 Jasper Ave. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. I had another question. It was concerning, how can I say that? We talk about the new project. Do you participate officially with because I see that you are the Secretariat, but you're under the Ministry of Culture, exactly? But you're not in parallel.
No, we're not in parallel. So we're under the responsibility of the Minister of Culture and Tourism, but we do have that role to try to reach out in other ministries and to work with our colleagues across government.
Okay, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. Well, I hope that we'll get you back here and talk to us about, more specific projects or how people can interact and everything. Last question. How do you see Calgary evolving for the next 5 years when it comes to Francophone here?
Do you want to take this one?
All right.
Tricky question, but
yes.
We'll share
the question.
Okay.
Yes, Calgary has absolutely huge potential. With more and more people coming to live there, more and more interests, more and more possibilities, lots of creativity and ideas. There are ideas of perhaps regrouping more the various organizations. It could be in the same building or in the same area.
Exactly.
They are developing services for the early childhood as well. And trying to think, I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah. Well, like Manuelle said, it's really the creativity and the passion that people put into developing services in French, and I find that very. I had the chance to do a little bit of Manuelle's job before she came along on the team, and I think that's one of the things that I carry from that experience is the passion and the creativity and what they bring to the table to get those services.
And do you have the chance to present to people or to support? There was a neighborhood called Rouville, if I'm not mistaken.
Rouleauville,
yes, exactly.
Yes.
Do you have part to say about that? Do you support it or create activities?
Rouleauville was, to give a little bit of context, it was a village very close to Calgary, which then became part of Calgary, and that's where missionaries and Dr. Rouleau and the Grey Nuns came over.
Nuns, yes.
And yes, there is a strong idea of redeveloping this historical legacy.
Oh, wow.
And actually, Théâtre à Pic did a wonderful job this summer, actually developing some guided walks around the area.
Well, what we can do, we can talk about the theatre and everything with Rouleauville right after we